Number 24, avoid just this once trade and its second cousin, but it was working so well. But to stay focused on this, a lot of times you're kind of thinking like, well, just this once I'm going to take this trade. Okay. Now, knowing what to do is fairly easy after you have a little bit of experience, right? And it doesn't take a lot of experience, believe it or not. If you take, it doesn't have to be my pattern, but since I'm talking, take like Landry light pullbacks and study those, find 100 examples through a variety of conditions, find some that works, some that didn't, find beautiful setups that failed miserably. Okay, there's that negative thing again, right? But it can be a positive in the long term, and get a feel for it and just focus on that until you're successful at that, and then move on. You're welcome. My work is done. Where's a mic? I need a fake mic to drop. I've broken mics by dropping them. But anyway, knowing what to do is fairly easy, especially with a little experience. And if you don't know what to do, ask yourself, if I knew what to do, what would that be? The just this once trade, and believe me, I'm guilty. Okay, so a lot of these webinars are admission of guilt, but it reminds me of acrasia, which I've talked about quite a bit, and it's a state of mind in which someone acts against their better judgment through the weakness of will. Amen. Okay, it's kind of like, I'm not going to drink tonight. Well, I think I might just have one beer. You know. Now, acrasia is a state of acting against your better judgment. It is when you do one thing, even though you know you should do something else. Amen. How many times have I said, and I think I first put this in layman's, you know what you're doing wrong? You know what you're doing wrong, okay? Acrasia is what prevents you from following through on what you set out to do. Well, along those lines, just a random thought here, discipline gets used up, okay? And that's why I have to work out not first thing in the morning, but before I come to work, okay? There's been many a days where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna work out later, okay? I'm busy today, I'm gonna work out later. Well, before you know, it's like noon. It's like, well, let me just eat lunch, and then, oh, I better let that lunch go down. And then the market closes, and then it's kind of like, by then it's like, it's too late, you know, or whatever. I've got my nighttime analysis to do, my nightly analysis to do, got to get that service published, blah, blah, blah. So you never get around to doing it. Well, that discipline just gets used up. And a side note here about discipline getting used up, that's why you want to be careful. And believe me, I'm guilty. You know, I've got all these screens that are flickering all day long, and it's like I'm very tempted to go in and make these extra trades. So that's kind of eating away at my discipline, so to speak. Now, time and consistency means that you want that immediate gratification versus the long-term goal, okay? And in our society, that's tough because we live in this so-called microwave society. Blockbuster video is out of business, okay? Why? Well, because people could just get a movie much more quickly off the streaming services or whatever, you know? Now, immediate gratification is tangible and rewarding, but it does come with a long-term cost. You eating bad foods, or if you go do something more fun than going to the gym, right? You get that immediate dopamine hit, or however you want to look at it, but it does come with a long-term cost, obviously. Now, I always get this one mixed up, so I had to Google it one more time. I don't know if it's Thinking Fast and Slow. It's in a lot of these behavioral science type of books. But we have this time and consistency where, like, if somebody offered you $500 today or $505 tomorrow, most people would take $500 today. Now, if somebody offered you $500 a year from now, or $505 a year and a day from now, most people would take the $505. It's still, the time is the same. It's one day, $5, but the way people look at it is much differently. I would take the $500 today, probably. Now, again, kind of dovetailing back to the microwave society, modern pressure. We're all looking for instant success. Nobody has any patience anymore. It's like we all want everything to load quickly, to happen quickly. And all of this, I think all this bombarding with all this other things is making our brains stupider. And it's making us, it's creating ADD and creating all these other problems, which lead to this acrasia and time and consistency. And these easy money gurus aren't helping. And this is an old slide that I found while working on this presentation. I was digging through old slides trying to find a crazy. And it seems like lately there's a new it's weird. It's like they went through a cycle. There was these, I was just getting inundated with these ads, and this firm got sued by the government for 120 something million dollars or whatever. And it seemed like that kind of put the lid on these guys for a while. It was kind of nice. And then all of a sudden they're back with a vengeance. So, and then I also click on them just to I purposely want to see them come up in my YouTube feed so I could see what these people are doing, and it's amazing, and how they're not in prison is also amazing.